My name is Richard Bush. I'm a lawyer in the Media, Entertainment and Sport team at Bird & Bird. I'm also a member of the esports Integrity Coalition's Disciplinary Panel, and I advise on a number of matters relating to esports. To date, mainly for event organisers and publishers. More broadly, I advise sports bodies in relation to their rules and regulations and disciplinary cases, including anti-corruption and anti-doping matters. One particular area of focus for me is child protection and safeguarding, in relation to which I've advised a number of governing bodies, clubs and leagues over a number of years. There are a number of matters that can severely damage the reputation of any sport, including any e-sport. Chief amongst those include doping, corruption and various other forms of cheating. Hence in esports we have the role of the Esports Integrity Coalition. Another very serious matter, which ranks alongside those in terms of the damage it can do to a sport, is child protection, and recent history has shown us in so-called traditional sports how important that is. So why is it important? Well, first and foremost is the obvious reason, which goes without saying, which is that no one wants to see any harm done to children, or children being put at risk of harm as a result of their involvement in esports. But there are a few other reasons why esports organisations need to take this issue very seriously. Firstly, a safe and welcoming environment for children and young people will encourage them to participate in esports in the first place, and also whilst there, to stay there, which will obviously encourage the long-term growth and development of esports. In esports, unlike in traditional sports, there is no established governing body either at the international or national level, and those bodies would tend to take the lead on child protection matters, particularly at the national level. So in esports, it's important that each esports organisation grapples the issue themselves. From a more clinical perspective, if an esports organisation hasn't taken adequate steps in order to address child protection, and the worst happens, then there is a danger of liability, both in terms of legal risk and also reputational risk. The risks for any given esports organisation will depend exactly on the nature of that organisation and what it does. So in this case, the answer will be different for an esports team than it would be for an event organiser. However, in all cases, the first thing to look at really is where in your activities are people getting unsupervised or largely unsupervised access to children and young people, whether that be in the real world or online. So for example, in an esports team context, the coaching of children and young people is an area that might be looked at, and then on online platforms it's where people can engage in messaging directly with each other. Again, the answer to that question will depend on the exact nature of the esports organisation and what it does, but a few examples would include, firstly, monitoring what's going on, as in what activities are being undertaken involving children and young people, or if not directly monitoring, at least allowing yourself to do so where you think it appropriate. Secondly, an esports organisation could have rules and regulations, terms and conditions and guidance, code of conduct, etc., which people can look to govern their interactions with children and young people. Thirdly, and this is an important one, having reporting mechanisms which allow people to inform you of areas of concern, and then equally importantly, obviously knowing what to do once you receive those reports, in particular knowing which external agencies to contact, who to contact and when to contact them. The protection of children and young people is obviously a sensitive and often emotive area, but it's not one that esports organisations should feel fearful of addressing. In the first instance, I would simply encourage esports organisations to assess their activities, assess any areas of risk to children and young people, and take it from there.